2 Corinthians chapter 1, beginning with verse 3, says, "Praise be to the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. He is the Father, who is full of mercy, and the God of all comfort. And He comforts us every time we have trouble, so that when others have trouble, we can comfort them with the same comfort that God gives us. We share in the many sufferings of Christ in the same way much comfort comes to us through Christ. And if we have troubles, it's for your comfort and salvation. And if we're comforted, it is so that we can comfort you. And this helps you patiently accept the same sufferings that we have. And our hope for you is strong. We know that you share in our sufferings, so we know that you also share in our comfort." And I just want to encourage everyone today and let them know that no matter what you go through in your life, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how difficult it seems to be, you can call upon the name of the Lord, and He will give you the strength, and He will give you the comfort to make it through. And I'm not just saying this because I can stand up here and say it. I'm saying it because I know it, because I've lived it. I've lost both of my parents. I've lost a brother, and now I've lost a sister within the last couple of years. I know what it is to lose someone close to me. I know the heartache and the pain and the suffering of what that feels like. And I know what Fred and Sherry and Fritz are going through today when they think about how much their wife and their mother meant to them and means to them today. But I want to just encourage us all that we can take comfort in knowing that God is full of mercy and that He loves us so much, and that no matter what we're going through in our lives, God is going to give us comfort, and He's going to give us peace if we turn to Him. If we look to Him, He's the author, He's the finisher of our faith. And if we look to Him, He promises us that He'll never leave us nor forsake us. He said, "Lo, I'm with you always, even unto the end of the world." When the Apostle Paul was saying this, he was going through a lot of difficult things in his life, but he wanted to bring comfort to the church of Corinth and to those people there, letting them know that no matter what you are going through, know that this time of trial, this time of heartache and pain, you're going through it for a reason. And that reason is going to be that later on in life, you're going to be able to bring that comfort and bring that peace into the lives of others who are going to be hurting at that time. So today is a day that we can bring the comfort and peace of the Lord into the lives of these folks here. And what a joyous time it is just to be able to come together and show your love and to hear the stories and to hear the things that we know about Fred and Birdie and the memories that we've had together. And so, some of them you might say, well, that didn't, that wasn't very big, or that didn't, how could that mean a lot to somebody? It's just knowing that you had that time with them. It's just knowing that you had that precious memory. I love that song, Precious Memories. We can always go back and think of how someone and what someone meant to us. Brandon and I, we came to Florida usually in February before we moved here, and we were singing with the group Simply Faith Trio, but we could only sing about 6 months out of the year because Ron and Joy were already here during the winter months. So Brandon and I would fly in, and we would have about 2 weeks. And Ron and Joy at the time just had a fifth wheel, and Brandon and I would stay with them. And one of the first people that we met was Fred. And I guarantee you, what I remember about Uncle Freddie is his laugh, I'll tell you. I thought, boy, oh boy, I can't believe he can laugh like that, and that loud, everything. But I'll always remember his laugh. But you see, Ron and Fred they're kind of like brothers. They wear the same hats. You all see them running around driving in the golf cart, And while we were here, excuse me, what is that?
They told him he has to get his back out instead of
That's right. You got to get that app back out. But anyway, but that was my first way of meeting Fred. And then later, of course, I got to meet Birdie and found out how such a wonderful lady that she is. And as Brandon and I continue to come here, we just continue to draw closer and closer to them. And finally, we moved here 5 years ago, and we became family. And that's why I call them my Uncle Freddie and Aunt Birdie. I don't call anybody else that in the park. Only Uncle Freddie and Aunt Birdie. We were that close. We felt like they were just part of our family. And they are, and they were. So, like I said, the last few, this season was such a difficult one for me and for others that knew Birdie really close. We started the season, we thought it was going to be like any other season. And Birdie was here in the church services. She was starting to come here. She'd have doctor's appointments and different things. There were some health issues. But then she had the fall when she broke her hip. Nobody was expecting that to happen. But that was the beginning of the downfall of everything that began to happen in her life that would bring us to this day. So it's been a very difficult time, a very difficult season. But I remember going to visit her in the hospital. I remember when she had pneumonia, and I was at the DeSoto Hospital, and I was right there in the ICU with her. Now, there were other times I was at the rehab center with her, and I was talking with her and praying with her. But she was always positive, even when she had pneumonia. And she was in ICU. She was always positive. She was always smiling, making me laugh. I came to cheer her up, and she would make me laugh. She was just that kind of person. She had that way to do that. And then there were times I'd just go over and visit them in the trailer, and I'd be there for hours. Wouldn't even realize the time had gone by. We'd be telling stories and just laughing and carrying on and just having a wonderful time. And those are my memories. Those are the things that I'll always hold on to. And as somebody's already said, Uncle Freddie is always at the door greeting people. That's the way he was when I first started pastoring the church 5 years ago. Uncle Freddie was always at the back door greeting people, hugging them, welcoming them. Birdie was always here with Freddie, supporting him, whether it be karaoke, like he said, bingo. I've never been to bingo, but I've heard a lot of stories, okay? And I know she loved it. She loved Nickel Nickel and all these other things. And you have all kinds of memories with her, with that, and throughout the park, and all the festivities, and things that we can share and experience together. But today I just want us all to remember Birdie in the way that she touched your life the most. And I know it can be a time of grief and sadness, but it can also be a time of great joy. Birdie is not in any pain anymore. She's not having problems now. She's rejoicing. She's in the presence of the Lord, and she's having a wonderful time. The last time that Lori and I were able to be with her was over at Solaris in Port Charlotte. But she didn't even know who we were. And she told us she didn't even know who she was. And she was just being honest. She was that confused. But as I stood by her bedside, I didn't really know what to do. I'd never been in a situation like that, to be honest with you. I'd visited a lot of people in the hospitals, but I had never really been in that type of situation. And as I stood there by her bedside, I thought, what can I do? I know I need to pray for it. I'm going to do that before I leave. But what can I do? And it just dawned on me. She hasn't heard me sing for a long time. And I said, Birdie, I said, can I sing for you? She was like, yeah. And the first song that popped into my head was, I Need Thee Every Hour. And I began to sing that. And I felt God's presence come into that room as I was singing that song to her. I don't know how it touched her. I don't know what it did. But I was just being obedient to the Lord. And we said a prayer together. And Lori hugged her and gave her some words of encouragement. And we walked out. And that was the last time that we saw her. But that's a memory of mine that I can hold on to. And it shows me, too, the way that God can reach down and touch someone, even when you don't even know, are they there? My mom had Alzheimer's, and there wasn't much that could move her at all. She didn't talk, she couldn't talk, she just smiled and laughed. But when I began to sing, she began to sing with me, because that's how God works. He moves.